Vesper's host just released, and with it comes the best new grenade launcher in all of Destiny 2, which sounds crazy considering the fact that Bittersweet dropped with a ton of hype just a few days ago, and that weapon was already outshining the likes of the Cataphract and Edge Transit. So in today's video, I'll be breaking down why Chill Inhibitor is now the best heavy weapon in the game, and how you can farm it in under 2 minutes or less. The footage you've been seeing in the background is all thanks to Bog on My Dog, who was kind enough to share footage of one of his god rolls and is the man responsible for the first solo witness kill, so be sure to drop him a sub by clicking his link down in the description below. I'm above, and without further ado, let's get into it. So what makes Chill Inhibitor so good? Well, first of all, it has an insane perk pool. And though the full list of perks isn't even available in the API just yet, we do know that it rolls with both Envious Arsenal and Bait and Switch, which in my opinion are the two strongest DPS perks in the game right now, especially after the auto-loading and reconstruction nerfs. They synergize perfectly with one another and have no cooldown, which makes it easy to cycle these perks infinitely. Now, rapid-fire GLs like Chill Inhibitor may deal 16% less damage per shot than adaptives, but as a trade-off, they have roughly 30% higher base reserves and fire 25% faster, which means with optimal damage perks like we have on the Chill Inhibitor, it actually becomes both the highest DPS and total damage heavy grenade launcher in the entire game. I even double-checked this with Aegis, the DPS spreadsheet guru himself, and he confirmed the same thing. To maximize damage, we'll be looking for either spike grenades or mini frags as our magazine perk of choice, as spike grenades add 4% bonus damage to each shot, while mini frags increase the mag size while simultaneously reducing blast radius, which will slightly increase our damage. Augmented drum is a decent option as well, with the only two unusable mag perks being high explosive ordnance and proximity nades. Column 1 has a few solid options such as demolitionist that can be good for specific damage rotations, especially when you take into account the origin trait that can actually be used with things like Starfire Protocol, but I'd prioritize Envious Arsenal to pair with Bait and Switch as the damage perk in column 2. As I mentioned earlier, this perk synergizes perfectly with Bait and Switch and has no cooldown, which makes it easy to use. Now that we've covered why this weapon is so good and which perks to farm for, let's talk about the best way to get your hands on this weapon. Thanks to the crazy community efforts, Vesper's host's secret puzzles have already been fully solved, and without spoiling anything, if you get access to the 4th code slot, you can actually target farm this weapon through the secret chest shown on screen. Skarrow made a fantastic guide covering this entire process, and that video will be linked down in the description below. With that said, it is a relatively time-consuming process and isn't infinitely farmable, which is why I've come up with a farmable method that takes less than 2 minutes per run and can actually drop up to 6 items from the dungeon, including the brand new heavy grenade launcher. For this farm, we're gonna head to the first encounter of the dungeon, where the encounter actually completes once you dunk all 3 nukes into their respective deposits. The intended way to do this encounter is to clear the room on each side, then run the nukes back to the main room, kill the brig, dunk, and repeat. This usually takes around 6 to 10 minutes depending on your fire team, but if you deposit at just the right time, you can actually dupe the nuke and complete all 3 deposits by just clearing 1 room. The timing on this is somewhat tight, but if you switch weapons just before the interact circle hits 3/4 of its interact progress, it should duplicate the nuke and speed up your farming significantly. And if you're not comfortable with the timing, start weapon swapping early at around 50% and work your way closer to the 3/4 threshold. It's much faster to drop the ball and attempt the dupe again than it is to fully complete a dunk and have to do another room, but with a little practice, you'll have this timing down in no time. And the best part, this can be done completely solo. It may take slightly longer, but works exactly the same way. Now, to make this farm as fast as possible, start by killing the brig, grab the scanner, and head into the room on your close right. This has the shortest run time for nuke deposits, and the mini-bosses spawn in a tightly confined area that allows you to kill them with a single parasite. Speaking of parasite, high damage burst weapons are preferred for this encounter, as things like Parasite, Choir of One, and Galahorn are fantastic for insta-killing brigs and mini-bosses, which really speeds up the encounter. But feel free to use whatever whatever you're comfortable with. Once dead, kill the brig, dupe the ball, and then dunk all 3 cores for a 1 in 6 chance at the chill inhibitor dropping. And yes, this weapon can drop on the same character even if you've never had it drop before, as this dungeon is fully farmable. I'm gonna leave a raw run of our farm in the background so you can see exactly what this looks like from my POV. And anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. I'll be running Vesper's host dungeon helps all week long over at twitch.tv/abub, so make sure to swing on by the stream if you don't have a team to run with. That's it from me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace!
Radiation detected. Central power critically low. Power at 60%.
Different.
Re-engaging standby mode. Welcome to
Got
Vesper
the
Station.
GL, we're back! Let's see. And it's so mid, but that's okay. Dang it, dude.